Good morning, stats students. This is Mrs. Mayer, and this video is to help you create dot plots and interpret them using SOCS, shape, center, spread, and outliers. So the first thing we want to do is read the problem. So the resting pulse rates were recorded for 16 boys in the gym, and it's before the exercise. So the pulse rates are listed below. We're going to create a dot plot by hand and describe SOCS. So as you can notice, the data is not in order, but that is okay. So we want to first draw our line for a dot plot, and we have to find our smallest number. So the smallest number, it looks like here, is 79. And the largest number is 85. Okay, so we know that our scale will start at 79 and go to 85. So you can make your scale 79, 80. If you want, you can go by twos, 81, 82, okay, and here is my scale. And I already ran out of room. You want to make sure that you have a label for that scale. Okay, so my label in this case should be resting heart rate. Okay, so now we're going to start adding our dots to the dot plot. So what I do is I just cross them off and I can go across the line. So 79, I'm going to place here, cross it off. 80, I'm going to place here, cross it off, and try to make them as even as possible. 81, here, cross it off. So here is our dot plot. And so when you're done creating the dot plot, you want to count and make sure you have 16 values, or the number of numbers are represented. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So we're good there. Okay. Now, we want to start looking at shape, center, spread, and outliers. So, in this case, there are two different things you could say for shape, which is actually going to be okay for the purpose of this video because I'll talk about both measures of center and how we would grade you on that. So, you can trace the shape like this, okay, and you can say that this shape is skewed right, because that's where the tail is. Okay, if your data is skewed, for your measure of center, you're going to use the median, because the median is not affected by outliers. Okay, that's really important. So, it's skewed right, it's a median. We have an outlier here. We'll say 85 is our outlier. And we want to have always a label. So 85, I guess heart rate is beats per minute. Okay. And then the spread is your range. So it's your maximum minus your minimum. So in this case, my maximum is 85. My minimum is 79. So I'm going to do 85 minus 79, and I get a range of 6 beats per minute. Okay, so we're going to go back to the median, and the median means we're going to calculate the middle number. So to look at the median, we can go cross off numbers on the dot plot. Now, if this confuses you, don't do this. You can just start crossing off numbers. But Miss Lodel and I like to use a shortcut. So if you use 16, if you have 16 values and you divide that by 2, which is 8, then you can count from 8 on either side. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so in this case, our median is the 9th number. So if you notice that I've crossed off 8 on each side, so our 9th dot, our middle, is between 81 and 82. Because this is an even amount of numbers, we're not going to have an exact dot in the middle. So you need to average 81 plus 82, or actually I'll write it over here in the median. 81 plus 82 divided by 2, I'm finding the average, and I get 81.5 beats per minute. Now if you look up at the top, I showed you another method if this is confusing. You can write all the numbers out in order and cross them off this way, like 1 on each side. This is the way you might have done it in middle school or any other time you did mean, median, and mode. Okay. And as you can see, there's 2 numbers that end up being in the middle. So you have to take the average of those. So 81 plus 82 over 2 is 81.5. Okay, either one of those is correct. So now I'm going to go back to this particular case. Another way you could describe this shape is symmetric with an outlier. I'm having trouble writing in my boxes here. Okay, because this looks approximately symmetric, and then except for that one outlier. If you say symmetric with an outlier, you want to use the mean as your measure of center, because the mean we want to use with symmetric data, the median we use with skewed data. The mean is affected by outliers. Okay, so once we find the mean, you have to add up all these numbers and then divide by the number of numbers. So that would be 79 plus 79 plus 80, right, all the way up, and divide that by 16. So if you have your graphing calculator on your Chromebook, or you have one, you're really going to need it for this class. I typed it all in on the top. I got 1302, and I divided that by 16, so my mean is 81.375. I went ahead and rounded that 81.375 to 81.4 beats per minute. And now if you look at the data, it makes sense because this is approximately symmetric, and that means your mean and your median should be very close to each other. Thanks for watching, and if you have any more questions on dot plots, please let us know.